Welcome to another in-car review as the temperature rises and my intellect gets as thin as it already is, thinner and thinner. So here to talk about Shadow Force, this new film starring Kerry, Washinton, and Omar and directed by Joe Carnahan, who is known for Narc and Cop Shop and some other things. And this is a fairly generic action film about a husband and wife with a son. That is the two actors I mentioned earlier, and they were part of this Shadow Force, which was this secret government agency that was created by villainous Mark Strong, who works within the U.S. government, to send this Shadow Force out. I'm not going to tell you the whole story. Sends them out to, kill dictators and do all kinds of things like that. And at some point, the two fall in love. They're not. That's rule number one of Shadow Force. No hanky-panky, but Omar Sy and Kerry Washinton fall in love, and they wind up having a kid, and they go rogue, and they try to destroy Shadow Force, and they leave, and they have now been on the run and hunted by Shadow Force and by Mark Strong in order to get revenge for messing up the good thing that once was Shadow Force. So that's basically the story. So it's a married couple, but they're kind of separated as far as the film is concerned. Like Omar Sy is in hiding somewhere, unbeknownst to just about everybody else in the film, raising their young son, who has a very strong penchant for Lionel Richie. He'll listen to it all night long, as it were. And there's a lot of Lionel Richie in this film. There's a lot of Lionel Richie, and there's a lot of close-ups of somebody pushing the Spotify button on their phone. Promotional consideration paid by Spotify. So that's amusing, and it's used to an amusing effect here and there. The kid is very cute and very funny. Kerry Washinton and Omar Sy are very good at what they do. So it's an action movie about two parents trying to protect their kid and escape from and eventually settle the score with Mark Strong and his Shadow Force. So Shadow Force is a pretty silly title. And overall, the film kind of plays like, of course, I just saw it in the theater. When you watch this video, that may not be an option anymore. But I saw it in the theater, and it really felt like a Netflix movie or a streaming movie. I'm not saying the people in it were not good, because they were. And I'm going to totally probably get her name wrong. She, I believe, was nominated for or won an Oscar for The Holdovers. Divine Joy Randolph. I might be wrong about that full name there, but she's very good in it, and she has a very, very fun scene toward the end. And again, it's a good cast. Mark Strong is a little cheesy in the film. He's playing the Faux-American. If he had a mustache, he would be twirling it villain. Some of his dialogue is very cheesy. He is the bad guy. There's no doubt from the moment you see them that he is the bad guy in the film. And there's a good amount of action throughout. A lot of it, unfortunately, not very well rendered. As you know, if I ever talk about an action movie, I have tremendous respect for stunt coordinators, stunt teams, stunt performers, and actors who do insane training to be able to perform some level of fisticuffs and stunts on screen. And when the film then just shoots it and edits it so poorly, you just get the impression that something is going on. It always kind of annoys me, and it feels like a wasted opportunity. I always say it's like watching an adult film and all the sex is out of focus. It's like, that's kind of a large reason why we're there. So the action is disappointing, although if you are, I guess, unfortunately, the normal action movie or film goer, I guess you've been accustomed to being okay with not really seeing what you're paying for. But some of it's very cool. There's a very cool, badass car in the film. There are some good sequences. I just wish they were better. I just wish I could see what was going on more, because it's one of those things where, yes, I get the idea that these two people are fighting, and I'm kind of seeing the moves they're using on each other, and I can see that there was thought and care put into this, but it's always cutting away, and the camera's always too close or too shaky or out of focus or in the fog or in the dark or whatever, and I kept just being kind of annoyed at that. So would I see a sequel to Shadow Force? Of course I would, because it's a fun concept. It's not a bad concept at all. It doesn't really wink at the end for a sequel, but it gives you enough seeds that if watered by cash dollars at the box office, there might be another Shadow Force film. I don't know. It really does feel like the kind of thing you would see streaming, or as a high-end, made for streaming, or I want to say cable, but really streaming is the new cable. It feels like something like that. So if I'm sure I think the audience I saw it with was pretty happy with it. I think if you wait to see this on streaming, everything is better in a theater. Everything looks better and sounds better in a theater. But if you wait to see this on streaming, you're not going to have that much of a diminished experience. But nice to see big budget action movie with African American family leads. That's pretty cool. And again, the kid's rather entertaining and gets off a few lines that are rather surprising and shocking in the film. So again, if you like Lionel Richie, you'll love Shadow Force.